fine. We're sitting there, shooting the verbiage, so to speak, about the WNBA. And he hit me with this article. Well, it was this short clip. And it was Angel Reese talking about, her staying in college because she's going to make more money here. And she's making more money in college than you would in the WNBA with the actual pay structure that they got. Well, when he said this, he says that NIL is violating the WNBA. Now, it took some time for me to kind of understand what he meant by that, because you got two different entities. You got the WNBA and the revenue that they bring in, and then you got women's college basketball and the revenue that brings in. And right now, that's bringing in a lot more revenue than what is happening with the WNBA. So as we're talking about it and we're going through this motion and trying to connect the dots, what's wrong, one of the things that he said, they need to rotate some people out at the WNBA because they don't know what they're doing. And I kept asking my man, I said, so what is the solution? What should they do? What can be the solution so that the WNBA brings in more money so that they can pay these women, these superstars, these athletes, a rate that is comparable to what NIL deals you got, like Caitlin Clark, you got Juju Watkins, you got what's my girl, Paige, they call her Buckets at UConn, Angel Reese, all of them. I mean, when you look at what is going on with them making all that money with NIL, my man kept stating, he said, Couch, they have got to figure out a way. And I'm sitting there saying, okay, what's the way? What's the solution? He said, they got to find one. So after a while, I realized that was okay. My man saying, Couch, you know what? You figure this out. And I've been banging my head on this ever since. Then while I'm watching the game last night, I'm looking at all these commercials. I started to realize what needed to be done, because this is the first year you got women's college players leaving early after their junior year or whatever that are looking to go into the WNBA draft. I'm thinking in my head, you look at that and you look at Ice Cube's offer to Caitlin Clark, which I think if she were to accept that, I hope she doesn't, it will cause regression because of what may be exposed. And I don't even want to talk like that, because there's a good thing going on now with women's college athletics, especially during the NCAA women's tournament. So I'm trying to figure out, why are they getting all of this pub and making this money? So I stopped, took a step back, and what came to mind is the highest rated NCAA championship game ever. And the way I connected it was with where the NBA was at the time. So Magic Johnson, Michigan State, Larry Bird, Indiana State. That was the game. That is the game that introduced the world to Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. But the NBA was struggling at the time. You had the merger with the ABA, but what could you do to really increase the value of the NBA and the of the NBA? Well, why not focus the attention on two players that have a huge following, and they're going into the NBA at the same time, where you feed off the marketing of these two to build up the value of the brand. And it worked. You had Magic Johnson people following him. You have Larry Bird, and then you have the rival, Lakers, Celtics, and what they brought to it. In my opinion, what can be done, the WNBA can do the same thing, because with all of these girls, with all these women, getting all of these NIL contracts, there is so much attention now being brought to the women's game. I mean, look at the stands, look at the ticket sales. People are interested. People are like, hey, this is a great product. People always talked about the WNBA. It wasn't a great product. The things they want to bring in to kind of like, boost the viewership, I think are just dumb ideas. You don't lower the rim. You don't do that. To have bucking, it makes it kind of cheesy. But what you got right now is that you have a following for these particular players. The WNBA needs to take these players when they come in and instead of trying to market the entire league, just focus on marketing these players. The value and the viewership will probably increase. But I do believe that them focusing solely on trying to push the league and bring it up together at once, that's not working. Why not take who's popular out there, what's going on, and bring that into the fold? Ride the backs of all these women that got these NIL deals. You see those fans at Iowa, you see those fans at LSU, see the UConn fans from stores, you see people coming in from Raleigh to watch these women play. Right off the backs of this energy. Is there more to it? I believe so. But I believe that this should be the premise in creating more value for the WNBA. I think it's a good product, but everybody's not into it like I am. But I do believe if they use these ladies that have the following, I believe that you could start seeing viewership for the WNBA to increase, because you're going to have people that want to see these women play. It's just a thought. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, talk to you soon.